As the old saying goes, those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. Or something like that. Yes, it's important to know your history, not just the big names and key dates, but the little details that help us better understand a historic figure or era in which they lived. Maybe it's a surprising fact that makes you rethink conventional wisdom. Maybe it's a wild anecdote that seems too crazy to be true. Whatever the case, it's the little, surprising bits of history are perhaps the most fun bits of history, the type of info that's so wacky and out there it could never be repeated even if someone wanted to. Number 1. Turkeys were once worshipped like gods. While the turkey is currently America's favorite part of the Thanksgiving meal, in 300 BC, these big birds were heralded by the Mayan people as vessels of the gods and were honored as such, so much so that they were domesticated to have roles in religious rites. They were symbols of power and prestige and can be found everywhere in Maya iconography and archaeology. Number 2. Paul Revere never actually shouted, "The British are coming." While everyone knows the story of Revere's famous ride in which he was said to have warned colonial militia of the approaching enemy by yelling, "The British are coming," this is actually false. According to History.com, the operation was meant to be quiet and stealthy, since British troops were hiding out in the Massachusetts countryside. Also, colonial Americans still considered themselves to be British. Number 3. Using forks used to be seen as sacrilegious. Forks, the widely used eating utensils, were once seen as blasphemous. They were first introduced in Italy in the 11th century. These spiked spaghetti twirling instruments were seen as an offense to God. And why, do you ask? Because they were artificial hands, and as such was considered to be sacrilegious. Number 4. There were more than 600 plots to kill Fidel Castro. Yes, 600. The Cuban dictator was targeted to be killed by a large range of foes, including political opponents, criminals, and even the United States, among many others. Tactics included everything from an exploding cigar to a poisoned diving suit. Number 5. Richard Nixon was a great musician, the 37th President of the United States, and the only president to resign from office, actually was an extremely talented musician. He played 5 instruments in total: piano, saxophone, clarinet, accordion, and violin. Number 6. Lyndon B. Johnson gave interviews from the bathroom. This, for lack of a better word, unapologetic president gave interviews while using the toilet. Presidential biographer Doris Kearns Goodwin describes the impetus: he just didn't want the conversation to stop. Number 7. July 4th is not the real American Independence Day. It is actually July 2nd because this is when the Second Continental Congress in Philadelphia actually voted to approve a resolution of independence. July 4th, though, is when the Congress adopted the official Declaration of Independence, and most didn't even sign that until August. Number 8. Cars weren't invented in the United States. It wasn't Henry Ford's Model T in 1908. The first car actually was created in the 19th century when European engineers Carl Benz and Emil Levasseur were working on automobile inventions. Benz patented the first automobile in 1886. Number 9. Cowboys didn't actually wear cowboy hats, those big Stetsons that everyone associates with cowboys like John Wayne, Billy the Kid, or Wyatt Earp. Yeah, cowboys didn't wear those. In fact, the hat of choice for the 19th century cowboys was actually a bowler hat. Go figure. Number 9. Richard Nixon plotted to assassinate a journalist. He was a paranoid dude, and Richard Nixon wanted to kill Washington columnist Jack Anderson, according to NBC News. His plot included ideas such as putting poison in Anderson's medicine cabinet or exposing the journalist to large amounts of LSD. Thankfully, the plot was abandoned. Number 10. The former president seriously lost the personal ID number needed to confirm nuclear launches. And not just briefly. For, months on end. This is all according to the then chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who, understandably, called this misstep a gargantuan deal. Well folks, we have come to the end of the video and 10 weird facts. I hope you liked the video. If you would be so kind, please subscribe and hit the like and notification button so you can see more great videos. And as always, stay blessed, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one.